Sylvain, can you tell us a little bit about Groupe Kilo?
Yes, well, Groupe Kilo is a general contractor specialized in civil works, mainly in concrete and asphalt works for institutional, commercial, and household jobs. So we're about everywhere, small contracts as well as a big contract too, depending on the job that requires to be done.
Okay. What type of work you normally do? Like,
Trench drains, sewers, every work for municipalities, like for cities, salt domes and stuff like that. Everything that is specialized with the concrete walls or concrete slabs, foundations, excavations, backfill.
Okay, so I highly appreciate if you can tell us about your recent work with the city of Montreal.
Yes, yes. Well, the project was to build the foundations for a salt dome to protect the salt during the winter work for the abrasive in the streets. So the idea was to dig for the foundation footing. And after that, we were building the walls, the slab, and upper walls for the installation of the dome. So
okay.
the composite reinforcement was required to protect from the corrosive aspect of the abrasive salt.
Okay, so this is the cause of using the GFRB bars instead of conventional steel bars.
Yes, to protect them from rust.
Okay, okay.
How did you get involved in this project?
Well, we were the general contractor that was hired to do the job. So we were involved in practically every aspect except the conception. So we found subcontractors to do the steel job for us. Well, the reinforcement bars that was required as composite. So you see, it's kind of new because every time we talk about those rods, we always say steel rods, but it's not in steel; it's composite. So
Yeah.
kind of it's a deformation from the work we usually do. So it's really new for the general contractor environment in general.
Okay. Okay. And how did you learn about SFTec?
Well, once we won the quotation part with the city, we received an email from SFTec that was telling us we exist, we can produce those bars with all the specifications required. So we did a little bit of research on the SFTec and the products they were showing us, telling us about. And once we had all the confirmations about the proper aspect of the product they were showing us, we introduced with other subcontractors, and we asked them if they knew about you, and they contacted you, and we were able to deal together. Sorry.
Okay, so what is your experience with using SFTec FRB bars?
Well, it was our first try with the SFTec bars, and it was really special. The most special part about it was like when we received the bars, we experimented how light it was and easy to transport they were compared to standard galvanized steel rods. Um, it's really the main aspect about the product is that it's really light. It's really easy to move around on the field, on the job site.
And how long it take to install the bars in the project compared with conventional steel bars? Let us imagine that we have is conventional steel bars and SFTec rebars.
It's
So
you can cut about 20 to 25% of the usual installation time.
okay, and I have another question here. If you have the 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 desired lenses ready, so let us say you are going to build a slab and you have the cutted bars ready. So it will also reduce the construction time with you or not.
Yes,
And
yes. Well, Like I said, the only thing that is really different is the light. It's really light. When you install, you can usually you move around. If let's say it's a 15 gauge bar, you move like 2, 3 around at a time. With the composite bars, you can move the entire bundle with you, and you just place the bars afterwards. But when you take standard steel rods, you take 2, 3 bars, you move them, you place them, you go back, you take 2, 3 rods, you install them, you place them, and it's like always running around like that. When you take the composite rods, you can place the entire bundle and place rod one by one without going back in the stockpile every time.
And actually, I would like to ask, did you notice any difference in the installation?
Another main difference is the slightest difference is when we were pouring the concrete. As it's lighter, sometimes it had a tendency to well, because we were stepping on it for the slab, so the bars was reinforced, was going downwards, so we had to uplift them a bit to maintain the right level in the slab.
Yeah, they were sinking a little bit, right?
Yeah, they were sinking. Yeah, that's it. Because we had to step on them to be able to walk on the slab to place the concrete.
Yeah.
So by doing this, the bars were going down in the slab, and we had to uplift them with another bars. We had a bar that's an L-shaped bar, and we were uplifting the other rods that were pushed down, that were sinking.
I would like to ask a question because we discussed it in French about when Robert was saying with FRP you would need only one person to install, while in steel you would need two people to carry the both ends of the bars at all time. Would you be able to explain it a little bit for us in English for the English
Okay, yeah,
listeners?
well, like we have the really like long length bar that's like 6 meters, 20 feet. With steel rods, as it's heavy, the bar would go down at one end, so you had to take 2 men to install one bar, and after that clip all the others in the middle. But with the composite bars, it's so light, you just transport it, you pinch it, and then you can go pinch all the other bars in the middle afterwards. But you only need one guy because it's so light, you can just lift it and it stays up. So you don't have to carry them at 2 guys. It's a one-man job.
Here, I would like to ask my final question. What would you recommend the customers who are listening to this video to consider SFTec rebars in their future projects?
Well, every civil works that is susceptible to corrosion, salt exposure, every time you have a lot of let's say bars to put, to steel reinforced bars to put. This is really light, it's quick to install, and you're sure every time when it's raining the guy can continue to install these bars because it's not lightning conductive. So you can, even when it's raining, you can continue to install those bars. On the contrary of steel bars, as soon as it's starting to rain, the installers will stop because of the dangers.
So to cut it short, when you have any harsh conditions, you should use FRB bars.
Yes.
Okay.
They're not conductive, so they won't catch the lightning.
Okay, so here you are talking about the conductivity, and you are targeting another application like the ICF wall. You know there is a problem in the ICF wall for having like the disturbance, you know, with the internet connections, with network connections. When you are using steel bars, you have this kind of problems. But this is another point. You are talking about conductivity. But
yes,
this kind of materials, we don't have any conductivity, so you can use it in order to solve the problem in a building of that was built, you know, that will be built, you know, with steel bars. You can build them with FRB, like small houses or office building or something like this. in order to overcome the problem of using a steel bar that will result, the connection, you will have network problems,
Yeah, interference.
Yes, it will make some disturbance, when you are going to install steel instead of FRB. You are going to have problems like this, in your building. So
Okay.
it's another
Benefit,
advantage for
advantage.
using. Yeah.
Uh,
And I was just thinking about one thing. Tell your
Yes.
guys never to forget to put on gloves when manipulating the bars.
Yes.
It's a bit like mineral fibers. You know, when you touch it, it starts to itch, and it's the only tricks for the guys that install the bars.
Yes. Yes. You need a very good gloves, in your hand in order to avoid any touch, with the fibers.
thing.
Exactly.
Yes, that's it.
So, in a nutshell, would you recommend using our FRP in the future? Would you reuse it? Would you propose it to the engineers you work with? Do you recommend it for other people?
Yes, absolutely. My recommendation would be to make sure that the drawings are precise and the quantities have been adjusted right, because the delays for delivery have to be taken in consideration, because it's about 2 months, hoping that in the future it can be shorter. But other than that, it's a good product and I recommend the use of it.